Join the Wide Whale team May 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern for part 2 of our 3-part virtual event series, Voice of the Resident. For part 2, we will look specifically at residency. Using AI topic analysis, we've analyzed the free text of 400,000 Google reviews from residents of hundreds of top multifamily groups, including the NMHC Top 50, to identify how often 50 key topics are mentioned by residents. By filtering for and analyzing the topics by life cycle stage, we can isolate which topics are more influential during residency, versus tour, or renewal. Go to widewhale.com/data to sign up or find it in the revised community. That's widewhale.com/data.
Well, let's talk about the 4-minute mile. Back in May of 1954, Roger Bannister broke the world record for the fastest 1-mile time, and it was under 4 minutes. Up to that moment in time, people in the medical field had suggested that if someone were to attempt to run at a 4-minute mile pace or below, their body would literally blow apart. It would literally fall apart, physically fall apart if you tried to run that fast. And so there were all these impediments or a perceived mental blocks as related to breaking a 4-minute mile. But there was a medical student, Englishman, in 1954 named Robert Bannister, who set out to break that myth, to destroy that myth. And he had 2 friends running with him. The first pacer ran 2 laps or a little over 2 laps with him. And then the final pacer ran the final laps with him until around, I think there was like 250 yards left in the race or the attempt, that Roger took the lead and accomplished the 4-minute mile, or the under 4-minute mile. I think it was 3 minutes, 59 seconds and some change, small change. So anyway, the big punchline for that today is this: there are many 4-minute mile myths in your minds. The self-talk that you give yourself sometimes limits your belief that you can accomplish something in your life. No matter what that might be, there is a limiting belief there, just like in the 4-minute mile. It might be your own self-limiting belief. It might be that the world out there is telling you that you can't accomplish something. But know this: Roger Bannister heard all of that. He knew all of that. He was exposed to all of that. And despite all of that, he made the attempt anyway. That's the key. He took action. He made the attempt anyway. He also set some support mechanisms up around him. The 2 friends that ran the laps with him, or some of the laps with him, to pace him, to push him, to prod him, to encourage him. The 3,000 people that showed up that day, which quite frankly was a very small crowd for an attempt at breaking a world record. But back then there wasn't social media, right? I didn't see it in my IG feed, so I'm not there. And if it didn't happen on IG, it didn't really happen in person, except that wasn't true for this. He broke the record. You can break through your limiting beliefs today. You can break through those limiting beliefs that might be put in front of you by other people, those hurdles, those walls, those adversities, whatever they might be. You can break right through those things, just like Roger Bannister broke through the 4-minute mile. That's it. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
Join the Wide Whale team May 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern for part 2 of our 3-part virtual event series, Voice of the Resident. For part 2, we will look specifically at residency. Using AI topic analysis, we've analyzed the free text of 400,000 Google reviews from residents of hundreds of top multifamily groups, including the NMHC Top 50, to identify how often 50 key topics are mentioned by residents. By filtering for and analyzing the topics by life cycle stage, we can isolate which topics are more influential during residency, versus tour, or renewal. Go to widewhale.com/data to sign up or find it in the revised community. That's widewhale.com/data.